We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the beautiful, beautiful Dr. Agnes Bueno. You are with, we're having intimate conversations with Dr. Wow. And of course, for people who have not seen the program before, this is our fifth episode. And WOW stands for Woman of Wisdom, Woman of the World. And of course, our our my beautiful guest is
I call the choppy. Jake, you're
yeah, yeah,
choppy.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah. You're choppy on that side, but on the broadcast you're not.
oh, but I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oo.
You just
Oh,
have
yan. Okay. Okay
yeah,
ngayon.
you have to trust that that what I'm saying is always good and true.
Okay, but then I cannot respond if I don't
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you.
yeah. I'll repeat it anyway because I see what happens is that because of the power of your internet, so we're only depending on the how your internet is. But from our side, the broadcast is good. Ayan po, ladies and gentlemen, kung paano kami magsimula ng show, no? Itong show na to is with Dr. Agnes Bueno. She is a doctor of psychiatry for 40 years. She has been in residency and training and in general adult and psychiatry at the University of Missouri. If that, I don't know, we'll find out from Dr. Agnes kung kailan yun. And she's also part of the fellowship in child psychiatry at Washington University School of Medicine. And of course, hindi naman tayo nagyayabang, kundi dagdagan ko na yun po that she's also part of the fellowship in consultation liaison psychiatry at Baylor College of Medicine and spent 722 hours at MD Anderson Hospital attending to terminal cancer patients in psychoanalysis for 5 years, among others. Wait a minute, MD Anderson in Houston or in the East Coast?
Yes. Yes, the famous MD Anderson, where they bring all the cancer patients from all over the world.
So
I
in,
was there for, yeah,
it's a beautiful
yes.
place. I think I told you that my partner was there for 2018 and he was going through chemotherapy for 8 months in Houston.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I was actually assigned to Dr. DeBakey, the famous heart surgeon, and I was attending to almost all the patients there at MD Anderson because I had to deal with death and dying.
Yeah.
They
But
needed my assistance there, so
where did
they
where,
approach their cases holistically.
yes, yes, yes.
So that's where yes.
Where did they house you?
Yes.
Where did they house you?
Pardon?
Saan yung apartment mo doon?
Oh, I was staying there in Houston, Texas, because I was taking this fellowship at Baylor College of Medicine, and I really went a long way, but I don't tell people about these things, and
Well, let's
it's
talk
only when
about
they are introducing
let's
me
tell
to
the
be a.
yeah, let's stop sabi nga ni Julia Daza. Let's tell the people.
Oh, I think that's okay, so that we can announce. To me, it's like an announcement, not really something to brag about. Although it's
Humble
okay
humble
to
bragging na
be
lang.
proud of that.
Humble bragging is okay.
Oh yes, it's I am myself amazed at why I was accepted at those. They were the top five training centers in the states when I was there. So I must be good. There must be something that they see in me, even if I was some kind of an exotic foreigner. So they accepted me mainly through my previous recommendations and my interviews.
I think because
Grades and your academic grades didn't matter at that time. They relied more on their own clinical evaluation of anyone who would apply. And so, I was happy being accepted at those august centers of education in the United States. So yeah, we're not just ordinary Filipinos, because over there they nowadays they call them flips, and they don't they don't think any Filipino perhaps would be able to achieve those things. So pwede namang ipagyabang ng konti.
Yeah, that's
Pero
good.
it
That's
does
good.
not
I think
mean
the world has changed so much too. You know, the 46th president of the United States. You know how old Joe Biden is? She can't hear me. Do you know how old is Joe Biden? Joe Biden is.
oh, he's 78.
So
He's older than I am.
he's 78. That's why.
Yes,
So
yes.
he just
So by the time he finishes his term, he's going to be 82. Yeah, he's
so
going to be in his.
what does that tell you? What does that tell you? So you can
So
begin.
I can still be the president of a country.
I mean, I think very much so. No, because I think the beginning of our episodes, you were like saying that you're in the twilight of your life, but when you really think about it, which with oh wait, hang on. So that
Where
win
were we?
of yeah, we were talking about Joe Biden. So I
Oh
was saying,
yes, yes.
I was saying that in the beginning of our episodes, you were saying that you were already in your twilight years, but now comes that sometimes years or cultivated years of somebody in the office is a skill or a is very much so like a something that he could bring the years that he had experienced in life could be brought to his presidency. This is and this pattern is with every 77-year-old person in the world, right? So isn't
Well,
that
maybe being a baby boomer, we are the baby boomers. Maybe we are made of a different fiber because we went through quite a bit, but then we were also kind of funky, and in the 60s, we were kind of groovy, and we threw away our brashiers and etc. I was part of that age group. That's
oo nga,
why.
yeah,
Oh,
I look at baby boomers because explain mo sa amin kung ano bang pagkaintindi mo ng baby boomers. Paano ba na-coin yung word na yan?
kasi hindi ba during the war, ang daming babies na kasi wala nang magawa ang mga tao, they had to quit school. All they did was to get married, and ang daming babies na lumabas, right after the war. Hindi
You're
ba?
one of them.
And I'm one of them,
I think,
I was,
no, I think also because of celebration. Sabi nila, wow, tapos na ang war, time to make love. Diba?
siguro nga, kasi parang ganun kami eh. We have that, it was a very interesting time in history, actually, to be part of that era. And nakakaawa rin yung mga ngayon na kasi parang drab ang buhay nila ngayon, di ba? What with all the
Huwag tayo
technology.
mag-compare. I'm sure I'm sure they'll
Kasi-
have some
kasi
interesting
noon,
times too.
Noon kasi, ang laruan namin was very much fun, yung hide and seek. Hanggang gabing-gabi na naglalaro pa ako. Pag uwi ko sa bahay, ang dungis-dungis ko. Pinapagalitan ako parati ni mama kasi gusto niya, wow, ganda-ganda ng damit ko, ganyan-ganyan. Pero kukunin ko lahat yung mga bata sa probinsya pag nagbabakasyon kami. Kukuha ako ng ang daming coins doon sa tindahan ng lola ko, lalagay ko sa aking bag. Tapos ipamimigay ko yung mga pera para meron akong madaming kalaro. Tapos gusto ko ako ang gagawin nilang queen, so gagawa sila ng corona ko. It cannot compare.
Where was that? Is this in Ilocos?
Yes, in Ilocos. Kasi, ang ang grandfather ko was a landed gentry, tapos ang mother side ko were merchants. They had ships, actually, na lumubog na siguro mga, ewan ko, I forgot na kung ilang ships yon. And then war came, no? So biglang nagtaob lahat ang ano ng aking clan, no? So na-trauma.
Nasa DNA nyo pala maging merchant, kaya ang galing sa business ni Celeste.
O baka doon siya nagmana kasi ako, wala akong alam sa business.
Yeah.
Wala akong kaalam-alam talaga diyan sa mga ganyanan. So ako noon kasi being the eldest in the family, syempre, I can, pag sinabing ng lolo ko, alika Agnes, kumanta ka nga. Kakanta ako talaga. Tapos kung gusto niya ako magsayaw, sasayaw talaga ako. Ganun. So,
wow.
Magsusulfeyo ako every weekend sa lolo ko. Kailangan yun, prerequisite yun bago ako pwedeng maglaro. And then sa mother side ko naman, pag pumunta ako doon, wow, mga lola ko ang mga nag-aalaga sa akin, Paborito ako ng great-great-grandmother ko.
Siyempre, ikaw ang eldest.
Oo, I'm the eldest of both sides.
Lahat daw ng most eldest, most of the if you're in the line of the first grandchild, most of them are cuckoos daw. Totoo ba 'yon?
Ano na, hindi na, kumbaga yung mga, well, it was a
Sabi nila may topak daw lahat ng eldest.
Medyo nga siguro. may ano bang tawag doon?
Well, I guess because you're the first, so you had a lot of attention. Listen, I'm also the eldest, so I'm just trying to be honest with myself.
Pareho tayong may topak.
I mean, we were given so much attention, and then
yes, and also leeway. I was not too restricted. In terms of playing. See? Kaya siguro hanggang ngayon playful pa rin ako.
yeah, ako din.
Yeah.
So, let's get back to our interesting topic. We had an introduction of menopause last week, and I recognize that, well, one of my classmates from Orange County, if you're listening, Edsel, this is more like the topic that he wanted for us to discuss. Maybe we should give more information. What is menopausal for men? Is there really a term for?
Well, technically, it's called climacterium, male climacterium, andropause. What else do they call it? Andropause, things like that. They are more for men, clinically for men, because as men age, their capability to produce testosterone goes down also. So by the time that you are 30, you're already old.
Wait, hang on.
When we're talking about testosterone, that's the time that you are going now to start going down slowly. You decline slowly.
Give me more information about that. Okay, going down. Does that mean, because a lot of men don't really discuss this, but what is going down? What do you actually lose? Because I also know that even if you're a grandfather, if you have a third wife or a third, down the line, if you copulate with somebody younger, nabubuntis pa rin yung babae. So that has nothing to do with sperm count?
Nothing to do with the reproductive capability, actually.
Oh, really?
What hampers the reproduction is the diminishing frequency of sexual intercourse. So as you grow older,
what is that, libido?
It gets fewer and fewer the frequency, because the vitality, the tumescence of the phallus starts, also going down. So everything goes down, and at 30, a man is already on his way to growing old sexually. So, for example, a man is referred to me for possible depression. You know, sometimes just by looking at him, I see that it's probably because of diminished testosterone. Because you also lose your muscle mass. You know, you become frail. You're a bit lethargic. So not everything that shows the symptom of depression is depression. It could be just the natural course of things. And there are some men who who produce low testosterone naturally. So that's why you call somebody an alpha male is because he's full of testosterone. You know, he's vital, he's energetic, he's on the go. He's he can have sex frequently. See, so for example, you're already 80. Well, you can still have an erection, but it's no longer as vigorous, and you can still ejaculate, of course. Pero it's just like hitting the lotto, you know. It's like if you come upon the egg, because there are millions of sperm per ejaculation. So pwede pa rin magkaanak syempre, di
Ayun,
ba? Not
ayun.
not like the woman when she ends menstruating, she can no longer have a baby. But an 80-year-old man can still, have a baby.
But I guess maybe you can educate me with that. I realized when I turned 50 that you talked about depletion, no? Nagdi-deplete yung I think the
No, and it naturally goes down as you grow older.
ano yung
Every male
go down, literally go down, or
go
is
down
it
literally, phallus and all, they all go down. Kailangan ng tungkod o tulong. So sometimes
may
they laugh at me
erection
when
pa
I say,
rin. May
kailangan
erection.
tulungan mo na yung husband mo kasi you have to understand na hindi na siya as vigorous as when you were newly married. So the vigor, the vitality, no? That's why there are a lot of adverts for men for parang energy drink, etc., etc. And then you go into shabu and all that stuff to perk you up. But actually, it's the testosterone. So you may need some kind of supplementary testosterone. So you have to go for a checkup with a urologist. So I usually send male patients for clearance from a urologist to check his hormones, things like that, because they sometimes refer men who are impotent to me after they've cleared them, because then it already is caused by the mind. See? So it is a very natural thing for men to just, go down. That's why you have to be more, you have to take advantage of your vital years because they will go down. One time I was giving a talk to Rotarians. After my talk, this is about sex. And we ended up at 12 midnight or so because they wouldn't let me go. Can you imagine talking to a group of men?
Oo.
These are Rotarians. These are very supposed to be sophisticated men. But hearing it from me that one old man came after me after my talk and said, Doctora, after listening to you, I should have met you earlier.
Mm.
Parang ganon kasi they now see the truth and that I was actually transcribing what is true in their stage of development as men. They may be, very successful businessmen and all that. Oh, I'm sorry, I mentioned Rotarians. Baka
Okay.
naman mapikon sila.
No.
Kasi I was quite popular with them,
Yeah.
at one point in my life.
Madami namang
So
Rotary
he
clubs.
so he said, this old man said, "Oh, I wish I had met you when I was younger, Doctor. I just learned something that has been bothering me for years. And then he said, maybe God was a woman. So that was, that was very uh, telling.
Yeah.
Men do
Well,
not talk about it
well,
kasi.
meron naman kasing ano, I mean, okay,
Oh,
there are few ways, kunyari yung testosterone level ba yun, or whatever, your testosterone goes down. I mean, there are several things that can counter that or can help you, at least balance that that yung pagkukulang, no? So there, what can they do? They need zinc for sure. Men need zinc.
well, actually, Jake, these are all peripheral. The
Uh,
real truth is really the testosterone. The testosterone is really the hormone of desire. And even women need testosterone to maintain their sexual, uh, what's this?
Nabibili ba yon?
No, it can only be prescribed. Ang hirap kasi ang hirap kasi dito, there are, you cannot find any testosterone preparation for women. But for men, yes, of course, you can go to a urologist
Oh, you there?
because he
Oh,
has to check your blood level.
I
Baka ka
see.
maano, it's not a joke to be taking supplementary hormones. So kaya nga, one actor who was very macho was, I think, caught transporting a growth hormone into the United States, which is bawal. So there are certain limitations kasi to hormonal supplementation. Hindi siya vitamin. It's a hormone. So it can really affect your whole
Okay, let's talk
system.
about that testosterone.
Yes.
What does it do actually? Do you have any background? What does the testosterone do actually?
Well, it is the hormone that makes you male.
Okay. Okay. So that
So,
means
so
ito yung
i-
nagpapahaba this is the one that makes you
Oo, so
have a beard.
habang meron kang beard tsaka mustache, meron ka pa ring testosterone.
Okay.
Pero kung
Okay.
mag-umpisa ka ng numipis yan, and then numipis na rin yung muscles mo, yung tone mo, no? You are a bit,
Elasticity. The elasticity.
at saka yung ano mo, yung gana, yung vitality as you call it. Nakikita yun eh. Pagpasok pa lang sa akin ng pasyente o pupunta ako sa wards to make rounds, alam ko na eh kung depressed ba to o may andropause lang. See? Ganon. So,
Ah.
ipapatest ko rin ang mga hormones niya, etc. Mag-order ako ng mga blood exams, etc. It's really a very medical thing. So, you really have
Ah.
to consult your doctor. Maski once in 2 years lang. By the time you're 60, you should go to your urologist para ma-check up niya yung iyong pagka-male. Di ba?
Oo.
Some
Meron
men
ba?
are so desperate, they want their phalluses to be erect. So, kung ano-ano naman ang ginagawa ng mga urologists to maintain that. Pero actually, it's the testosterone.
So it's
You know?
interesting. I want to get to a point here that when men lose their virility or their let's say their testosterone levels are low, actually you can say na in maybe in popular term it's called that you lose yung pagkalalaki mo, no? Kasi when which is an interesting thing because hindi naman pwedeng mawala ang pagkalalaki mo, hindi naman mawawala ang pagkatao mo. Meaning, they should not feel that they've lost something because of their vigor or their vitality, because what's more important at the end of your days is actually your humanity. Depende kasi where do you put your importance? Kasi some men, without their masculinity, becomes zilch, I guess.
Or they overcompensate.
They overcompensate. So
Yes.
what is more important at the end of your days is actually your core being, how you are as a human, because everything goes anyway, everything goes down. I mean, it goes south ways. So how do you prepare? I think it's
But see, Jake, this is the problem.
okay.
Well,
Sige.
these are all developmental. That is why I say very candidly that when you're young, that's the time to play. That's the time to really express your hormonal system. Okay. Problem in our
Young, huh?
world
Let's be
is
careful about that. Young, yes, young. When you're a teenager, when before you turn into
young
adult.
is when you are about 18.
Yes.
What
Kasi
I was
bawal
going to
kasi, di ba? When you're
wait,
eight.
wait, Jake, kasi baka
Okay.
mawala na naman ako. Problem is the women are the ones who complain most of the time to me, because the woman can still be very sexual up to 70 or so, but the men, their husbands can no longer, you know, satisfy them. So their complaint most of the time is the husband losing his sexual vigor. So andyan na naman,
Wait,
papasok na naman yung mga kung
yeah. I
ano-anong
have something
whatever.
there. I have
Yeah.
something there, no? Maybe because the problem, I'm not sure, I'm not 70 yet, but maybe because one of the things is that, men are so used to being the kumbaga, I guess, how do I make this more, men are used to leading the copulation, right? So I guess
Leading, yeah,
leading meaning they're the ones who
who are
drive the
more active.
oh. So but then they want at the and us also in their mind they think that they need to get off, meaning para to ejaculate in with the woman. But maybe if the mindset of men is giving more satisfaction, perhaps they could get get turned on by giving to the partner or to the woman. Does that make sense?
Well, the the penis is already kind of, it's no longer hmm,
Nga, if it's not
tumescent.
okay,
Tumescent is the right term, meaning it's
okay.
no longer as tumescent. It's kind of soft
o-
already. See,
So magbigay na siya ng satisfaction to the woman. I think that's better. There are other
I,
ways, right?
I guess you don't really need your penis, but then at the same time, there are women who still want to be with a vigorous penis or a vigorous erection, or you know,
Not when you're 80 years old, ano ba?
eight. Ano?
80.
Oh, 80 talagang ano na yon.
Kaya nga.
Mag-retire ka na lang from sex.
No.
Huwag mo nang ipilit kasi
No, we're talking about kasi
yeah.
people in their senior years, how they'll be able to make it more exciting. Meaning, what I'm saying is that if the men lose their vitality and the women do not will need enhancements like lubrication, the men should be is the responsibility perhaps to give more satisfaction and be creative with it. There are other ways to do that, right? You can use right? Tama
Yes,
ba?
yes, yes. You don't have to use your penis.
Correct. Yun na nga.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Actually, it's actually a non-issue, It's a male issue, but for a woman, it's not so much. It's not so much an issue
correct.
because
Now,
she can be satisfied with other means of stimulating her or satisfying her. But see, if you really ask the women, if they're being honest about it, they still prefer to be embracing in their vagina a good tumescent phallus or penis. It has some kind of satisfaction. All right. So
yeah.
as I was saying, the problem is, yeah, that's where the women come to me is when they are still wanting some sex and the husband is no longer capable of doing it. So I also explain to these women to be kind to their husbands. Be kind. You have to understand that no matter how he wants it, if his testosterone is down, he's down. So that's again where love comes in, Jake. If you
Mm-mm-mm.
love someone, you will understand. So I guess for the young people of today, perhaps it's better really to combine an older woman with a younger man. Actually, that's what I always say at lectures is the best combination is a young man and a 35ish 40 years woman and a young man of 18. See, that's the best combination in bed. All right. So I really don't know why you always have to marry someone older or I don't know. I always
Okay.
I,
Ano lang
I always
yun?
question those things
Yeah.
that society imposes on humans because why? Why do you
No,
have
it
to?
could be, depende din yon. It could be older, it could be younger. There should be no you know,
No,
limit,
no,
right?
no, no. The equalizer, Jake, is the development of the man and the woman. They don't go uh, together simultaneously. A woman is at her peak at age 30, 35, sexually. A man is at his peak at age 18. So
Oh
if
my
you
God. Kaya
combine
pala eh,
those two,
ang peak ko 40.
oo, mga bandad ganun na ngayon. Mga 40, 45,
Yeah.
50, 55. Women are still at their peak. The only thing the only problem with women is the lubrication. It goes down at age 70. So all they need is a lubricant and that's it. Pero the men, kawawa din naman, kasi they have to have an erection, right? Paano naman kung ayaw na talaga? So,
I have no idea what well,
tapos
I can't relate. I can't
lumampas na
relate
yung
yet.
panahon. Kaya sinabi nung gentleman sa akin na sana nga kasi parang nangihinayang siya na hindi siya masyado nagkaroon ng mga sexual escapades when he was younger. Lumipas na kasi. So parang na siyang, dilapidated old man. Kawawa naman. So if you don't have money and you're old, wala nang gugustuhin pa ang babae sa'yo. Di ba? So siguro sensitive ka doon kasi baka mapikon ka, Jake. Kasi actually, it's attractive for women yung maraming pera na lalaki. Pero it's still not as good if he is already impotent. So, see, there's the
Mm,
juggling about.
yeah. Well, no, it doesn't offend me. I understand that. I think there was the most published publicized a wedding of Nicole Ann Smith, who married like a very old man. I'm sure that guy was not impotent yet. Do you remember Anna Nicole Smith?
Oh yes, yes.
And then she
The very
married the
old man really,
yeah
really liked her, di
yeah
ba?
they had some kind of like relationship, and
Yes,
I'm not here to judge,
yes.
but I don't know. I'm sure they were very
Pero,
creative on in
pero,
bed. Mm.
no, pero still, in bed, there's nothing much there, of course, right? Talagang ano na lang, gentle caring na lang.
Mm, yeah.
So, kaya siguro, create, society created na mas bata yung babae para mag-aalaga na lang sa kanyang husband when he grows old. And if the old man is really a gentle old man, it's very it's very easy to love someone like that, isn't it? It's really not just the sex, but still, you should have had sex when you had the tools. I call those things the tool.
Okay.
to express what you
Yeah.
have. O, di ba?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every 50-year-old man should have some kind of a checkup, you know.
Hmm.
Kasi also if your blood vessels are not patent or are not good, you also your erection is also affected. You know, that's why the big blue pill is for the blood vessels naman. So
Oh.
sometimes I prescribe sa mga diabetics and it works somehow. But I have to have a clearance from a cardiologist because it can affect the heart. So hindi pwedeng on your own if you are dealing with hormones. You have to
Hmm.
consult a doctor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's some knocking happening here. Hang in there. So, so going back to our menopause, maybe you can dish out more information about how they could, how they'd be able to, I guess, adjust with the change mentally. No, I think that's very important too, to be able to embrace the change that's happening to you biologically.
I am not kasi someone who would
Oh,
pat your shoulders only to make you feel better. The
aha.
truth is, no matter what you do, if you don't have much testosterone, you lose your vitality. Actually, even for women, you know, they lose their, you know, if you look at other women my own age, they don't look like me.
That's ano kasi, yan talagang you have to face, no? The tyranny of time. No?
Yeah, it's
That-
hard to grow older.
I just saw this video that I want to share with you of an old ballerina. It's going on viral now. She has Alzheimer's, so she, of course, she knows how. But in her younger years, I think she was a prima ballerina. So that means that she memorized the Swan Lake dance for years and performed it. And she was in her wheelchair, and somebody was taking a video of it. But I saw, obviously they played Tchaikovsky's music to bring her back to that
Oh, I've
memory.
seen that one.
Diba? And then you could see the form. She started to lift up her chest, and she started to. It was so moving because I thought, and then there was a part that she wanted to like stop everything, and but she continued because the body, the muscle memory brings you back to that place. But sadly, I mean, the tyranny of time is really, you really have to embrace that we need. Diba?
Right. That's why it's desperate to want to look young, vigorous when you're already old. You have to just settle down with it. But then again, if you didn't experience your vigorous, vital years, you would be filled with regrets because you can't go back to it anymore. There's no way you can go back to it. So the way that men go back to it is they marry someone who's young. They 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 do certain things that are no longer fit for someone his age. You know, so it's kind of desperate. So what I really like I would like for men to realize is it doesn't diminish their masculinity if they cannot have a vigorous erection anymore because it's also attractive for women to be with a man who has had it, you know, meaning who has had a full life and is already settling down. And it, you know, you respect such a person. You kind of that's why it's easy to love them actually than an alpha male who has a lot of women who if everybody was an alpha male everybody would be fighting all the time. See, so to each his own time, to each his own time. That's why we all should be more gracious to understand that this is a 16-year-old boy, that this is a 30-year-old man, that this is a 50-year-old man. See, things like that. So attractive in any age, actually, even in old age. I have met uh, old men, older than I am, who are very attractive still because they are eloquent, they are matured, they can take you places, they can educate you. I've had most of my educations with men actually. They take me to, it's a beautiful kind of thing to be with an older man. They can teach you, they can give you all the pleasures materialistically. Women love that. So, for example, if you're with an older man who has already some amount of money and he brings you shopping and you eye a beautiful necklace and he says, "Do you want that?" So that's pleasurable, right? I mean, he can
Parang
afford to.
parang pelikula naman yan.
Kasi
Parang Pretty Woman.
hindi. Películas are derived from true stories. Those películas cannot be written if not having been experienced by the author or researched by the author, right? So it's all derived from real life. Only problem is it only comes out through those media or those medium. Kasi media is always usually connected with TV, etc. But in actuality, there are so many other things happening.
Right.
As a psychotherapist, I can see how deep things go, really, whether you're 18 or 80. As a man, you can be very attractive at any age, actually. So, you don't have to despair. But see, there's the regret, the regret of not having, lived when you still were vigorous or young.
Oh, well, that's a
Yeah.
great thing that's a wonderful thing that you said. And my takeaway is that don't despair if you go down. And also, you don't have to end every story with and they lived happily ever after. You can end it with, it is because they lived. No, hindi ba? It's
It
like,
is. It's very hard to put into words
no,
those
because
factors.
it's not because they lived happily ever after. It is because they
Yeah,
lived.
it's not an ever after thing. It's because
Yeah,
you lived in your moment of time,
correct,
something like
correct.
that, right?
Yes, yes,
So kawawa naman yung mga, those who get married young.
yeah,
They don't really experience life,
yeah. But it's never
especially
too late.
especially the men. Uh, Husbands, married men have the lowest testosterone. Married men, men with children, also um, have lower testosterone. It's the man with unstable relationships that's always, raring to go.
So, I mean, I think it would be great to just maybe, talk to my friends who are listening and watching this program that, have a checkup and check with once you hit your 50, check for your prostate, check for your urologist and,
Yes, your cardiologist. It's
cardiologist.
like an executive checkup. We all have to go through that
Yeah.
so that you're optimum healthy at your age. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. This is a wonderful, wonderful topic. And again, for those people who are watching us, Doctor of Psychiatry, Dr. Agnes Bueno, has been gracing us once a week here with the intimate conversations with Dr. Wow. If you want to chime in and you want to suggest a topic that we want to discuss, or if you want us to, go back to a topic that you probably have missed and explore that topic, give us a suggestion, right? What do you think?
Yes. You can, you know, we can do the taping and they can ask the questions later and we can go back to them,
Oh
right?
well, okay. Well,
Isn't it?
that's wonderful. And actually, I love that you're actually glowing with gold this time. And I know that you
There's
put a little bit of a ribbon on your in your hair.
this is a hairband.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, nice, nice, nice.
It's we're in the time of the pandemic, We I love dressing up for you.
Nice, nice, nice. So you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Anytime that you want to chime in and give a suggestion, Dr. Agnes Bueno will be here for you. And same time next week, watch out for intimate conversations with Dr. Wow. Thank you, Dr. Agnes.
Okay. I'll see you again.
Yep, yep.